All right, we're going to get started. I see Sutton just joined us. Basically, I just want to take some time to, bring everybody together. Hopefully everybody's staying safe, what's going on, keeping their social distancing. I know things are going to start opening up, but as we can't get into groups, training, and everything, I figured, we can keep taking advantage of going live. And we got a special guest today. We want to talk about the importance of goal setting and, how to be methodical in your approach with setting goals, how to set goals, why set goals. And one of the main things that I've always learned is it takes 30 days to create a habit and only one day to break it. And then you got to start all over again. So before I bring Sutton on, I just wanted to just express he's just a poster child for what it takes setting goals, be able to stay consistent, and what does that exactly look like. So we're going to just ask him some questions. You guys can throw some stuff down in the comments and just kind of join the conversation, and we'll dig through this a little bit. Won't be too long, and then hopefully you get something to be able to take away from it. Let's see here, bring him in. All right, here we go. What's up, big man?
What up?
You good?
I'm great.
Good, man. Thanks for joining us.
I'm trying to get this camera right here. You know what I mean?
Right? I'm trying to get mine adjusted too. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, man. So before we get into it, man, just how you making out right now? I know you're in Missouri right now in St. Louis, trying to stay active. But what's life like right now with the pandemic, training, and all that stuff? What you got going on?
Man, it's been complete hibernation for me right now. It's been training hard, kind of trying to keep myself in running shape because, you ain't got a lot of stuff going on. Nobody telling you what to do right now. A lot of weight training, trying to get a lot of footwork in, obviously, with you trying to hit up a lot of footwork stuff and quickness and agility, just trying to get bigger, faster, stronger every day. I mean, and that was one of my goals in the this off season was to try to gain at least like 10 to 12 pounds and, be able to, wreck some dudes next year, just because last year I was a little underweight and I didn't really like that going into it. But this year, that's not the case.
Right.
We'll go into it swinging hard for sure.
Nice. So tell me, did you get a chance to watch the draft at all?
I did a little bit. I kind of wanted to not be too into it because I remember how stressful it was whenever I was going through it. And it was like, I didn't want to bring some of that stress levels back. I was like, dang, whatever these guys are going through, it's nuts. So I was like dabbling with it. Like I would look at Instagram, be like, first 25 picks and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I was paying attention for sure.
Yeah, I'm usually like a first round guy, maybe pick and pop back in. But I actually watched the whole thing, man. It kind of, it was kind of entertaining a little bit, seeing reactions of the family. I know with all the girlfriends, what I mean, that thing kind of went wild. But Tommy, Polly, and I, we speak on that Rams brawl, and I think that might be, a wave of the future. I think they're gonna keep that up, maybe bringing the top guys, on the red carpet. But I think they like that genuine response and the fans and all that. So we'll see. I was just curious what you thought about it. But talk to us, man, about this virtual meeting. I know you guys can't get back on, I'm going to say campus, but at the facilities and all that. I know you guys started this week, virtual meetings or whatever that is. What does that look like? You talking to the coaches and with the guys?
It's really just outlining what we're trying to do for this off season, talking about what we got to get done. And obviously we're setting goals as a team and stuff like that. So I got to keep some of those on low profile. But I mean, just as a team unit, we got to, we're trying to hit this season running, man. Like we don't want to start slow. We don't want to start mediocre. We want to hit the ground running. And so we were talking about what we want to do, what the future holds for us because this pandemic's going crazy and we got to do virtual meetings. A lot of it was just talking about what we need to get done and everything like that. And, dabbling through with some like coverages and plays and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff was just going through what we got to get done and everything like that. It's very interesting, man. It's like, it's weird, but it's fun at the same time. Cause if you didn't see, they brought on Will Ferrell on our Zoom call, and he like popped in as Greg Olson. And Coach Carroll was like, "We're gonna bring in Greg Olson to talk to the fans, or no, talk to the team and everything like that, because we haven't heard from the new guy and see what he's got to say and see what's going on." And next thing you know, Will Ferrell's face just pops up in the meeting room, and he starts talking, and just it was so funny, man. That stuff was good. But yeah, it's fun, and it's all fun right now. So just having a good time with it, trying to make the best of what we got.
Nah, cool. Well, let's get into this goal setting deal, man. Like I said, I was blessed to be able to see your journey. Starting kind of at the end of youth up to where you are right now, and talk to us. Why football? Was that a goal of yours? Growing up.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of started back when I was with you, though. It's funny how all this stuff kind of plays out. In the beginning, I was like, the coaches didn't really see me as a running back, or really, I was just trying to play hard and play fast. And they had me at like strong safety. And my freshman year, I kind of was like telling myself, I really want to get back to my running back days like I did in Pee Wee football, because I had a really good couple of years in Pee Wee football, and I really loved running back because that's what I vibed with the most. And so I started doing some running back training, and I went to U for a little bit. And, I set a goal in the beginning of the season, like I want to be able to be one of the starting running backs coming into the Howell football. And next thing you know, a couple months later, we go into summer ball. Not really summer ball. It's kind of just like a little 7-on-7, go through the plays type stuff. And I broke like a really long run, and nobody touched me. And so I was able to get a nice little run in. And next thing you know, against Holt, they put me in, and that actual season, fast forward, they put me in the first game. And the first time I touched the ball was like third quarter because they were unsure. And so we already beaten Holt pretty bad. And then they gave me the ball, and the first time I touched it, I scored. So it was awesome. And, a lot of hard work, obviously training with you and getting all my footwork and agility down, and speed, for God's sake, speed. That was a good one. Yeah. And it kind of just took off from there. And then goals kind of like created themselves in a way whenever you put in the work. So sometimes people have to set goals in order to like have a marker to get to, right? And in my case, it was that, and then it was also goals came to me in some way. Like something popped in my head, like, okay, let's get 3 touchdowns a game, because I had 3 touchdowns the first game, and then now I was like, all right, let's keep that roll going, and then I kept getting 3 touchdowns a game, and it just kept adding up, and I think I had like 32 to like 36 touchdowns my senior year. So I was able to set goals as I went, and it was kind of checkpoints for me. And I just wanted to, reach each goal at a time and make my way up there. And obviously touchdowns was a team-oriented thing, but, it's still a goal.
Y'all kept them bigs over there. But nah, man, I mean, you're being modest. I know Coach Mel just chimed in. And we was a part of just being able to see the process of you growing and really establishing past that stereotype, right? Because you talk about speed and all that, and be like, man, who's this little thick white dude thinks he can come in? And we will watch you, man, had the moves, size, you weren't afraid to block. And, as I would talk to coaches, I'm like, man, this kid got a shot, if he wants to play this position moving forward. And you bought, fully in. And like you said, being able to set those goals. So with the young guys listening, and even some of the college coaches understanding the thought process, you said you scored like 36 touchdowns. I remember when we sat down, I had that. Remember I was going, you're about to play Fort Zumwalt West, and, you're on your way to 2,000 yards.
Yeah,
you just had a monster senior season, and, the offers were coming in. What do you say to the kid that says, you know what, man, I want to play X? Obviously we concentrate on running backs. But you are a running back, and I still laugh. You're a running back. But talk to us how you went from all-state running back, then you went to NIU, safety, position change, then you break records, one of the best outside rushers of NCAA history. You broke records that way, and then you get drafted as a linebacker. Not many kids are mentally strong enough or say, you know what, man, I want to play X. So talk to us about that transition then, and also – how did your goals change? Because I know goals change by, position to position.
See, some things I'm trying to, I know how to say it, but it's like I don't want to sound wrong whenever you tell this to kids. You know, kids don't know what they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, in the future, they're not going to know things. But part of me was telling myself, get out of my own way mentally. Just get out of my own way. And because if you let a grudge hold you because you played a position in high school, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. So why put a barrier on what you could do? And just because you don't see it doesn't mean somebody doesn't see it in it for you. So basically, like you said, when I started out running back, I had an all right season, and it was fun. It was good and everything. Thought I was going to be a running back in college. I get there, I break a couple touchdown runs and everything like that. I thought everything was going good, and next thing you know, my quarterback fumbles the ball. He was under center, and that somehow the ball got kicked up to the in-box safety. Safety picked up. I leveled him. Instantly the next day, I was in my head coach's office saying, "Hey, we're gonna move you to linebacker." I was like, crap. But then I had to talk with my dad. My dad he said the exact thing: you don't know what you don't know. So take this. Don't get in your own way. Don't be selfish in a way where you think that you deserve this and this only because, one, you came into a brand new team and you haven't earned anything yet. So as soon as you go to a different team, it's a start new, like a brand new start. You don't own, you don't run anything there. And so that really opened my eyes, and I was like, you know what? Wherever they put me, I trust in my athletic ability to be able to do whatever position they wanted me to. And then at the end of the day, they put me at defensive end, and I was like soaking wet. The first year I did it was 220 pounds or something like that. And you don't see a lot of 220-pound defensive ends in college football. They're usually like 6'4", I don't know, 260, 270, I don't know, something like that. So, you know, that was a big moving part for me, and I just really needed to get my mind right with some goals, as in, like, my goals were kind of universal. Like, I wanted to be the best football player I could possibly be. And that's a very, like, you know, that's a self goal. Like, that's something for your own and not really team oriented, but you just had to make new goals as you went along. You can't just keep the same goals. Cause obviously I was like, I want to be a starting college running back. That changed. But I did a few things in my college career to make myself look like a running back. So I feel good about it. I think I scored a couple TDs. I'm okay with that. I think I got some recognition on that one, but it was all fun, man. You just have to – you can't get in your own way, and mentally as well. So –
but let's talk about how to set goals, right? So I wrote down a couple of things that I know everybody's process is different. You can tell me, hey, I do a little different. You agree with it. I just wrote down 5 things for people that are saying, okay, well, setting goals for them is just thinking about it. I want to do X. I want to achieve X. But to really make it relevant, so the first one I have, write it down.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever goes in your mind, write it down, and not just write it down, post it. You know I tell all of our guys, put it to where you can see it, like daily, whether that's in your bathroom, whether that's on your book, whatever that is, so you can constantly see it and make it real to you. Is that fair? Is that something that you've done in the past?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've gone to it where I've put it in front of my mirror. I've written stuff on, like, with a magic marker on my mirror. Yeah, I've done stuff to that. You know, I think for me, it was the most important goals that came into my mind were the ones that made me feel the most emotionally attached to what I was doing. So at the time, like, when I got drafted by Pittsburgh, I was like, all right, I want to come in. I want to make an impact on special teams because I'm a team player first. You know, I never want to be a selfish player. So I want to come in and make an impact, be one of their guys for special teams. That be a guy on special teams was one of my goals. And be a guy relates to as in, like, you're the guy. Like, you're the guy they look to build some special team stuff around, like blocking punts or, you know, kickoff. Like, if you're getting double teamed on kickoff, that's a good thing because they know you're making plays.
Right.
And then I wanted to come in and be, okay, I want to be in the rotation of outside linebackers. I mean, obviously I got hurt when I was at Pittsburgh, and that was unfortunate. But those were some of the goals. Whenever I was just thinking about stuff in my head, I was like, dude, this is the goal right here. This is the goal. But then I had to set mini goals to get there. And, you know, with me getting hurt, I wasn't able to do those mini goals because it required physical activity. And I was just unable to do those. But this year is a different year, and I'm looking forward to it. But you're right. You gotta set some goals and make it where it's visual, to where you see it every day, and you need to be reminded of it, because once you go to sleep, sometimes you don't remember the exact thing you thought the night prior, and you kind of just let it go a little bit. But then you remember later, but then you kind of let it go. But if it's constant, makes it visual, and it'll happen.
That's called a concussion. No,
yeah, I wouldn't say that now.
I remember that before. But now, the second one I had was tell somebody. You know what I mean? That, because sometimes when you keep it to yourself, and yeah, you can see it on your mirror daily, but I think sometimes having an accountability partner, teammate, mom, brother, friend, that's going to say, hey, man, your actions don't line up with what your goal is, what you said that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Is that fair to say that at least you could tell more than one person, but at least make your goals known to somebody that's going to keep you accountable?
Yeah, I would also echo the fact that, make your actions loud too. Just because someone says something, like we hear people say these things all the time, like, I want to be an all-state running back in high school. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you told me. I'm glad your head's there. But what am I seeing every day or every other day out of you to be able to achieve those goals? Because when I told you I wanted to be an all-state running back, I mean, what I do, I came to you at least 3-4 times a week during the week when you were training boys up at that one facility where all the soccer players go. I don't know what that place is called. Game time. We would have this little itty-bitty soccer area, but we made it work because it was a good area. But I had to get in there every other day in the off season, because I knew that what I had prior wasn't going to be good enough this next season to be able to reach the goals I wanted to. And the goals were to be a 2,000-yard rushing running back. All purpose was to be close to 3,000 yards and everything like that. So it was a nice lofty goal for me. But when you achieve the goal, it's that much better. And you need to know that the mini goals are the ones like, okay, my mini goals for the week is I got to go to Arlen, or I got to go to a trainer that you're nearby, or something that you feel comfortable that will help you get to where you got to get to every single week. So for me, it was going to you 3 times a week, and then doing weightlifting after that with my after school with my team, and doing extra stuff too. Like weekends, I was working out in the weight room, and I was trying to get big, bro. Right. Smith boys don't run small over here. But no, we were just trying to get big. So, I mean, a combination in high school of big, fast, and strong and quick is it's hard to compete with that. And, by doing those actions, guess who followed me? A lot of my teammates came on to that, and after school, they'd be lifting all the time. And that's how you create a really, really good foundation of a team. And, you got to lead by action and by your words, but actions speak louder. To me, they do, because whenever I see my boy go make a play, it makes me motivated to go make a play.
Right. So speaking of actions, so number 3 was that I had down was a time frame, right? What are those? What are those action steps, right? Steps to actually achieve that, and it can be different times, whether it's a goal for 1 week, a month, a year, 5 years, or whatever that is creating. Don't just go out there, like we said, okay, you write it down, you tell somebody. Now you got to give yourself a time frame on when you're going to achieve this thing. So again, that's another accountability thing. Again, when you transition into college and you went from running back, on the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball, did you ever sit back and say, you know what, man, I'm going to give this thing a week or this season? Or did you even give yourself a time frame to say, I'm going to give this a shot and go back to coach and say, man, I'm not comfortable. I want to go back to running back.
I figured out early in my career that for me, time frames didn't really work for me. One reason why is that I'm a go type guy, and like I always want to be like I want to play for my coach. Like I don't want to play by myself. I don't want to be I don't want to be selfish or anything like that. I don't know how to put that, but like whenever I got switched to DN, from running back to linebacker to DN, it was like, okay, no matter what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go full speed at it. And it's going to work out for the best as long as I do what I'm doing full speed. Who cares if you make a mistake? Just go.
Right.
And for me, it wasn't so much like, you know, if I don't do good this first week, I don't know, because it obviously didn't take me just a week to become an All-American pass rusher. It never did. And I had second guesses. I'm not going to lie. I'm human. I had second guesses about what I was doing. But when I saw the improvements that I was making, I built upon those. Like, even if it was just a good get off, like just a get off, no handwork, no striking, no moves, no none. If it was just a good get off, I built off that, and I built on and moved on to the next thing. And I think for me, the timeline didn't work just because I needed time to be built into the player that I wanted to be. And I feel like when you take the time and you put the work in and you trust in yourself and you don't look back, you'll find yourself on the winning team. And usually the winning team is being with your boys and everybody follows, or they're leading too. And that was one of the things I was telling myself. I don't want to be selfish. Just because I play running back doesn't mean that I can't play something else. Because I knew coming out of high school, like, teams wanted me at linebacker, teams wanted me such and such playing outside backer and stuff like that. But I looked at it, I was like, man, if I play linebacker, I play linebacker. But also, I told myself I was going to play 100% no matter what I was doing. And it worked out for the best for me. As long as you go hard, everything will work out by itself.
Yeah, that's not bad, man. It's funny, man. We were talking with a couple of local coaches, a couple of guys in the area. You think of like Jeff Thomas and some of these guys that had just came out that were all world in high school, did a good job at the next level in college and that weren't drafted. You know what I mean? And you sit there and you think, hey, man, my position got changed. I trust the process. Like Coach Bethany said, I trust the process, and you were able to get drafted, which, people can't even fathom that experience to get your name called. But the last one, the last two, I have 4 and 5. I'm going to put those together is I have celebrate, right? Celebrate your goal, like when you achieve it.
Yeah.
And then after that, don't just celebrate, make a new one. As always, don't be content. Don't just get stuck and just, what, I want this so hard. And I'll speak for myself. I'm gonna be honest, man. I always say, and it sounds cheesy. When I grew up, I collected baseball cards, and I was like, yo, man, I want my own baseball card. Like, I want to get to the NFL, get a rookie card, and I'm good. Like, anything else is like, and in hindsight, like, that's kind of how my career happened. I achieved it, and it was just like this lull, right? There was no, you know what I mean? Because I was satisfied. Like, I was like, yo, man, I made it. I got my card. I know that sounds corny, but
No, man, that's you.
I was 7 years old. Like, yo, man, that was what made it was for me. But, as you get older and you mature, you create other goals. But so for you to come out of high school, had an amazing career, you celebrated that. College celebrated that. Now you're playing for the Seattle Seahawks. Like, so what's the next step for you?
So the next step is be a baller on special teams and come in and try to earn the rotational spot, second or first string coming into it, because I'm learning a new position. First I got to ball out on special teams. That's number one. But like you said, celebrate your goals. Like, for me, celebrate my goals was always making a new goal. Dude, for me, celebration goals, like, yeah, we celebrate, got drafted. That's awesome. We threw a big party and everything like that. But at the same time, while we were throwing a party, I was thinking about, dang, what other goals can we put up there on the board?
Right.
It was that, for me, that was just like, my mind never stopped going. And I was just like, oh man, I can't wait to just get there. And dude, yeah, with Seattle right now, I've set some pretty good goals. Those were two of the good goals that I was trying to get into. Some to me are private. I do have some private goals. I think everybody should have private goals as well, because you don't want the people that you're competing with or anybody else know, because if they know, they might work just as hard as you to get those, because it's competitive, man. And that's why you guys don't see me posting a whole lot on social media about me working, because nobody knows how much I'm working. Arlen posts for me. I'm okay with that. I'm with Arlen. He's my boy. But like, I only post a couple things every once in a while. But that's one of the things I like to work in silence to the world and show up and be ready. And that's kind of that's like a simulated goal that I also do, that I always love to have on my back pocket, is never work out loud, work in silence, and then you'll move much quicker, because you're not thinking about, oh, let me get on my Instagram and post this sort of stuff and everything like that. To me, just a lot of media can get in front of what I'm thinking. And I think media has a way of shutting people off to what they really should be thinking about, or some stuff like that. But I love media because it gets stuff out there as well.
Yeah.
And, I just say, keep your head down and grind. Just grind every single day and never let up.
It's pretty cool. We just had somebody comment from NIU, so they attend there and they're a big Steelers fan. So they're excited, to see how you're progressing through that, man. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. But lastly, one of the things, I'm a big, I need little things to remember stuff. So I know one of the doctors that were talking about writing a book about goal setting, and they said the 3 Ps as far as, and I want people to write, these things down, as we talked about the 5 points, but also the passion to get you started, right? To set your goals, I think you have to have that passion, the preparation, and the performance. You can talk all you want, but if there's no action behind it, whatever that goal is, because I know we're talking about football and your resume and process from youth to the pros, but it's also, man, and you and I laugh about it. I wasn't a phenomenal student. I had to work.
Nah, bro. Yeah.
Some of those goals are attached to other ones. So you can have goals of playing D1 ball, playing college, playing a certain position, but if you're not taking care of the academics, taking care of home or whatever, those process, what does that look like? Because you're in a position right now, you get a paycheck to play this thing. So you got certain things. If I don't do X, I either get fined, I get sent home, I get paid this amount of money. How, as you start to go through each phase, does it become a lot more important to stay true to your goals and understand what affects each other?
Yeah. First I want to start off with, any of y'all think that school shouldn't be up there with your football? Think again, because I almost had football taken away from me because of school. I'm gonna share the story that I say to pretty much everybody, Arlen, about how I started off with high school and everything like that. I was the worst student in high school in the first 2 years of my high school career. I had a teacher come up to me and basically smack me across the face because I was being dumb and immature and just hanging around the wrong crowd and not doing what I needed to do, failing out of my classes, not caring about finals. And my freshman year, the people who you hang out with really, you really shape yourself around them, and you got to watch who you hang out with. And I heard a quote one time: "Surround yourself with success," and meaning people. And so once I heard that, me and one of my teachers at Howe, she helped me get back to where I needed to go. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be. But not everybody has a person like I had in high school to help me get back to where I had to go. She was basically on top of me every day, making sure that I was doing this, and this, and helped me if I had crazy things going on. And I had sometimes 5 papers due in a week. She made sure I was on top of my stuff. And not everybody has that. So I'm telling you, from the start of high school, try. Just for the love of God, try. Because you don't know where you're going to be at the end of high school. You don't. You could never have played football and then play football or baseball, any sport, and then become a Division I athlete out of nowhere. Just make sure your school is a priority. And then, I'm sorry, what was the other question you were wanting me to lead into?
No, that was pretty much, just that whole aspect, just going through and understanding what the stakes are that high.
Oh, yeah.
There's goals attached to other goals.
Yeah. So, like you said, that's the other part I was looking for. So I got done with high school. I finished high school with a 2.7. Wasn't great, but I had to start from the bottom. I had I was literally almost failing out of high school after my freshman year. And I was literally almost failing out. I don't know how low it goes. It was under a 2.0, I think. I don't know. Because I just didn't try. I didn't take the tests, whatever. I was rebellious. And then I got I got beat up by my own teacher, but I'm okay with that. So, but then when I got to college, that was one of the things that I really took to heart, because school was, I was never good at school. And I told myself before I went to college, I was like, if I get accepted into this college, because I had to write a paper because my grades were too low to get accepted into NIU. I had to write an acceptance letter for them to accept me in, and it was like a 95% chance I was going to get accepted, blah, 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 whatever. So I told myself, if I get accepted, I'm gonna work my butt off to get a 3.0. I'm going to. And that was the goal I wanted to set, because I knew I wasn't good at school, but I knew a 3.0 was going to be a long shot for me for what I was trying to do with football, being a Division I athlete, and trying to keep my studies right as well. Because when you get to college, it becomes a job. It's literally a job. Everybody says when you get there, all the coaches are going to be like, school first, not football first. It's school, then football.
Right.
Yeah, no. It's football, then school. How they treat it necessarily is that.
Scheduling. Yeah, not important.
Oh,
Scheduling.
yeah. Scheduling, you're going to think like, oh, my God, where the heck am I going to have time to put in my schoolwork? But if you go to college and you have any sort of thoughts on tutors, get a tutor, man. I had a tutor every single year of my college career, just because I wanted to make sure that I was doing what I was supposed to be doing and not screwing up what I had going for me. And I didn't even know I was going to be an All-American or anything like that. This was before that. And even while I was an All-American, I had tutors. I was not trying to get big-headed. Know where I was. I knew my place. I was humble at it, and I wanted to get through this and get the best possible grades I could, because I knew I wasn't good at school. So I made sure I was humble enough to be like, hey, can I get a tutor for this math class? This math class I know is going to be tough, but I had to reach down inside and be like, you know what? I need to ask for help. So I asked for help right away. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. You please don't go to college and be like, hey, I'm not going to ask for help because I don't feel like I need help. And then next thing you know, you get smacked in the face by this class, and now you're like, oh crap, I'm behind because you already failed the first assignment.
Right.
Just get a tutor, for love of God. They're amazing. Okay. Jeez.
But
Cheers
but
to my tutors.
your boy Jean, man, all the way out from Norway, just said what's up.
Oh, what's up?
And he gave us a wave. But yeah, man, we can like you said, we could talk about this forever. I'll just go back through and reiterate to people that just joined us. We're talking about goal setting. Write it down, post it so you can see it. Make sure you tell somebody about it, right? And then actually put together a time frame when you want to achieve this goal, celebrate it, and then build new ones. So last but not least, man, I'll give you the floor. I know I would love for you to give your feedback on, could you imagine right now what these kids are going through in high school and even college with, they're not at school right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I talk to college coaches today. So when we talk about goal setting, kind of give them advice or maybe try to put yourself in their shoes. What does that even look like? Because their goals have changed, because, no one's on campus in college, high school kids, the camps, there's no camps, all been canceled. Combines have been canceled. They might not get on their facilities until June, July, or what that looks like. And the same thing for college. So, and I know you're going through your own deal, OTAs and mini camps
Yeah.
aren't there. Speak to the younger guys, high school, college. What in your mind, Braden, out there, SEMO, what's up, Braden? Talking about somebody that sucks. What does those goals look like now? Because not everyone has a gym in their basement. The gyms are closed down. You know what I mean? They don't have access to all the equipment. They're in and out talking to their coaches. Immediately, Sutton Smith is in high school or in college. You're All-American. What goals are you put out right now for yourself until you figure out you're going to be able to get back with your teammates?
I would put out goals like, I'm not going to let this stop me. Like, that's just a progress goal that I could put out there, that it's a never ending goal. Like, my way of dealing with things like adversity basically is what everybody's dealing with right now. And it sucks that this coronavirus has created a stay-at-home act. And I mean, I get it, everything's going on, but turn the situation into a positive. Turn it all the way into a positive. Never think negative about something like this, because you can do stuff mentally, physically, that you can get yourself ready for. I mean, you got to think about it. This is a dead period. What can you do to make a goal in a dead period of time? Make a goal. What's a goal? Okay, if I needed to gain 10 pounds as a linebacker, guess what? That's going to be my goal. And I'm going to gain 10 pounds. I'm going to do it the right way, though. I'm going to eat good. I'm going to work out good. One of the guys up from NIU. But like those things, don't take this as like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch some Netflix. That new All-American show on Netflix. Oh, that's a good show, but
trash. The last season, trash. But go ahead.
You know what I mean, though? Like, if you're in high school, y'all got nothing better to do but get outside, run, eat good food, do what you got to do. Because let's be honest, like, you're at your parents' house more than likely, and you're going to you have a lot of free time. I mean, man, I can't tell you how many times, like, I've tried to get outside and just go run, something like that. Just get in shape, man. What are other people doing that you think, like, try to do what they're not doing. Like, if they're not waking up at 8 a.m. in the morning and getting up, eating right, and then going on a little run or workout, a lot of people take this as like, okay, I'm going to sleep in until 12.
Right.
Chill out, watch some Netflix. Yeah, so everything's good today. No, you gotta grind this out. Don't let this little thing stop you, and set little goals, like I said, throughout the period of time that you're off school and everything like that. Speaking of the kids that are going into college, just all I can tell you is get stronger. For the love of God, get stronger, and then just stay in condition. Because every single time when you go up to a college, they're always going to ask you to gain weight for pretty much any position that you're at, no matter if it's wide receiver, running back, safety. They're going to want you to get to a certain weight that they like their safeties at or their wide receivers at. Just know that there's going to be expectations when you get there. So just try to assume what those expectations are. Like, if you're a wide receiver, gain 5 pounds and, raise my bench by 10 pounds or something like that. Just get a little bit stronger, faster every day. And, that's really the spiel with that, because stuff like this, you can't let this sort of stuff get you down. You just gotta grind it through. And the best way to define yourself is how you deal with adversity. And that's the way I preach it. If I can get through this and make it out okay, and, do everything's possible that I can do to be able to be the best athlete that I can be, you know what, I'm gonna do that. No way in hell am I gonna let anybody stop me do that, because I can only imagine what the person over in Florida is doing right now.
And that's a great point, that adverse, because I could only imagine. I tell guys, like, this is even the playing field. You know what I mean? For a lot of people that don't have access to all the cutesy stuff, it's going to see, and even for coaches, we're going to see if there's limited time with your guys who can coach. Some of those freak athletes just on the field now, guys are going to come back out of shape. You got to deal with the mental aspect, the physical aspect. They're not going to be able to move around like they want to. And God forbid, injuries. You know how it is. People won't be trying to fly around.
Yeah.
You haven't been taking care of yourself. And now you go from having a couple months to prepare to a month and a half or so, man. You know how it is at the high level. You got to take care of your body.
Yeah.
So the people that's been being diligent right now are the ones that's going to rise to the top. I really believe that. So, man, I'm just praying for that class of 2020 and 21s, those guys that are, missing some of those opportunities, that they're taking advantage of this and will rise out of it. But thanks again, man, for taking time out of it. Again, people with Sutton Smith, Seattle Seahawks, NFC West. I know we in Missouri in the West with the Rams, but the Seattle, which I got the 12th man out there, man. But I'm proud of you, man. We're going to follow up, stay in contact, follow with you. You know what I mean? Like you said, we got it in yesterday in the sand. That was a good workout. But again, I'll put in our comments or just, tweet it out. Guys, we're going to start really, hitting you guys with a lot of drills and training videos on Instagram and YouTube, trying to build that content up while you guys are out. Heather said thank you. While you guys are out and about, man. But, any last words, man? Just being, we'll get out of here.
Hey, everybody stay healthy, wash your hands.
Oh, man.
No, for real, though, everybody stay healthy, Do what you got to do. Don't take this as a slouch time. Get out there, work, and don't think that this is a time for relaxation. Make it a time for preparation. Never think that you can't just get better every single day. And that's what I got to say right there.
Awesome, man. All right, man. Well, take it easy. Everybody else, appreciate you. And tune in for the next one. Thanks, Sutton.
All right, no problem, man. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.